From the Washington 47, Brady dropping, throwing, and caught ball. Chris Godwin, touchdown Tampa Bay. Perfect throw from Brady, and Godwin beat the defender. Third down and 3. They need to reach the Washington 33. Dropping deep, Brady throws the ball to the right side. Open, Antonio Brown, 3-2-1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady finds AB at the 5, and Antonio Brown takes it in to the paint of the end zone.
We got together, man. We got together. Come on, man. He's running that thing. Contain the quarterback. He's got one job. Contain the quarterback. Let's go, man.
Washington dropping to throw pressure. Ball tipped to the line. Oh, it's picked off. Intercepted to the 42-yard line by Sean Murphy Bunting.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your post-game edition live here on NSPN and I Love St. Pete as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the Washington football team 29-19. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the great Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. And it's just real simple, guys. I mean, it's real simple football. I already see comments here, fire Byron Leftwich. This is offensive. No, this is a defensive game. When your third down conversion for the Washington football team, check this out, 11 for 19. When you have to make a big stop, you're not able to make a big stop. And then Ron Rivera respects this rushing defense so much, he decides to go for it on fourth down. In the process, you may have lost Vita Vea because at the end of the game, he's on a card. So not only do you lose the game, you fall to 6-3, you get embarrassed by a 2-6 football team like we talked about. They're going to give you their best effort, and when you're not able to get off the field and the other team has nearly 40 minutes of possession, time of possession, that's not on your offense, that's on your defense. This is a total team loss and a total team just dysfunction at this point to not be able to get out the field on third down. Give credit to where credit is due. Ron Rivera, the Washington football team, were prepared to play, and they played like they were a playoff team. The Bucs did not.
Absolutely, Peter. I agree with that tenfold. It doesn't help early if you give Washington momentum from the beginning of the game, repeatedly getting their offense back on the field, putting your defense in compromising positions. But you said it best, 11 for 19 on third downs.
I don't care what kind of defense you got, and I get it, you have injuries, but guys got to step up, and we talked about it. Missed tackles over and over again.
Guys not beating their one-on-ones.
Bad angles, mental mistakes, they cost you. You can't keep on getting down in games and come back and depend on the offense. And give credit to where credit is due. This Washington football team had a major loss today in a Chase Young. Did they stop playing? No.
Nope. I said this weeks ago, Peter, you can't keep relying on Tom Brady to bail you out every single game. Can't rely on him to bail you out. Not saying he can't, but you shouldn't have to. Yeah, other guys got to show up. You got to get a running game going. You got to get stops on third downs. You got to convert turnovers, which Levante did what he does best in clutch performance.
Correct.
Punching that ball out, but later on they just couldn't get him off the field.
No, they couldn't. So I know we got lots of comments. I know there's a lot of disappointed Bucs fans out
more
there.
Comments after a loss.
But relax. It's all right. We're here for you live on NSPN 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It was billed as the rematch, which it was. But this time, unlike the previous time in the wild card game, you didn't have those turnovers. You had these turnovers in this game, which came back to haunt you. Your defense was not able to get off the field. I get it. You have all kinds of injuries in the back end, so they're going to get better. But this is a tough loss. And then on top of it, Ryan Suckup misses an extra point. You get the ball back. Who knows at that point? But you're not able to get off the field on third down. You're not able to get off the field on fourth down. I mean, this vaunted defense, Antonio Gibson, 23 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the longest drive of the year.
19 plays.
19 plays, 80 yards.
And a touchdown.
Shameful. That's not Bucs defense. And that's not a signature defense if you're going to the postseason. I don't care how many offensive weapons you got. You got to do 2 things in this league to win. What are those?
What? Come get off the field on third downs and put the ball in the end zone.
Play defense and run the ball.
Yes.
They did exactly none of those things today. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391.
Here comes the money.
No, there was no money. There was no money at all.
They gave it away.
The money was Taylor Heineke today, who played well.
It wasn't
didn't turn over the ball, didn't throw any key interception.
26 for 32, 256 in the touchdown.
Was mobile on third down.
Yep.
Bucs again lost containment. I don't know what's going on there. Again, give credit to where credit is due. This Washington football team wanted to snap a 4-game losing streak, and they did today versus a team that came out sleepwalking the first half and then tried to come back. So let's read these comments here. Ha, ha, ha. I love it. Yeah, I love when you tune in.
Shut up!
I mean, total trash. I think the defense, again, it's disappointing because you need a big defensive stop, and you're running that clock down. You're not able to get off the field.
Nope.
I mean, anytime you can't stop the offensive team from converting third downs, you're going to lose. 11 for 19 is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a signature defense. And they had stops today. The Washington football team, they had stops.
Yep, they got the stops they needed on big downs. Our guys didn't deliver. They converted every one they needed.
Yep. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. You want to come on real quick?
Yeah,
come on.
Come on after that loss.
Come on, let's go. All right, so you guys, get on the camera there. You all, come on back. All of you come back here. Tell them who you are there. Give them that mic right there. Who are you, my friend? Are you the Buck Warrior?
Yep, Jamie Buck Warrior.
All right, get close to that mic there really quick. All right, you're live here on NSPN. I love St. Pete after the Bucs lose 29-19 to the Washington football team to fall to 6-3. How you feeling right now? Defensive effort not there today, right?
Yeah, defense was still on the bye week. They didn't show up today at all.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
I want to see what happened to Vita Vea there at the end. Hope it's nothing serious.
Well, that's the other big story. I mean, not only did Washington lose Chase Young in the first half, but now Vita Vea, who knows? And, of course, this goes back to last year, how much of a big part he is of that defensive line who, look, at the end of the day, did not do a good job today to stop this Washington offense. So give me something positive here. The Bucs are 6-3. They're going to get healthy.
Hey, we're still leading the division, and we're going to get our guys back next week. Monday Night Football. New York Giants are going down.
All right, you going to come back out here on Monday night?
I'll be at the game.
You're going to be at the game? All right, well, we got to do something really quick. We're live here on NSPN. Of course, I love St. Pete after the Bucs fall to 6-3. You got to give me a Tampa Bay. I know it's hurting right now, but go ahead and do it. You ready?
Let's go Tampa Bay.
Tampa!
Bay!
Tampa!
Bay!
Tampa!
Bay!
All right, that's the Bucs Warrior right there. Appreciate you, Jamie. Thanks a lot for coming out. That's what you get here live. Wins or losses, we're here for you. Read your comments, take your questions, and your silly-ass texts right here. Let's go back out to it here. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. Fire Byron Leftwich.
See, that's the funny part. Like, you don't say shit all year. And, when I start saying that.
Sure.
You don't say shit all year, and this team is scoring 30 points a game.
Right.
And then the minute they have a bad game, it's suddenly Byron's fault. Last year, the whole stipulation was every time they played bad, was Byron was calling the plays. When they played good,
Tom and B.A. were calling the plays. It was Tom's offense.
Yeah, and then B.A. said several times, I don't call any plays. Byron calls it.
Right.
I just so sick of hearing that. You keep saying you only want to fire Byron in a loss. Byron didn't have shit to do with Jalen Darden catching a pass and tipping it up in the air for interception.
I mean, those things come back to haunt you.
Byron didn't have shit to do
No.
with Tom Brady overthrowing a guy that shouldn't have been thrown to in the first place.
And
what the hell does he got to do with that?
Right, you got to give credit to where credit is due. Although Mike Evans gets deep on a 40-yard pass, his 9th touchdown, which makes it close, 23-19, because Ryan Suckup misses an extra point. Don't know why he missed an extra point, but he missed it.
Of course, at that moment, that's when you miss it.
But your defense is not able to get off the field, and that's what it comes down to. And just give credit to where credit is due. This Washington football team offensively played their asses off.
Yeah, and like I said, the turnovers didn't help. That didn't have anything to do with play calling. And it sure didn't have Byron didn't have nothing to do with the defense not being able to stop nobody 11 for 19 on 3rd down.
Yep.
So
11 for 19 and 19. All right, let's go out to Ed here. Stand by. Let me go ahead. Give him his walk-up music. Here we go. All right, Ed from Palm Harbor, welcome to your NSPN post-game edition as the Bucs fall to 6-3. Your thoughts?
Fire Todd Bowles.
Really? I mean, we're just firing coaches at this point? I mean, that's it.
Right, man. Fire Todd Bowles right now, today.
Fire Todd Bowles, fire Byron Leftwich. Forget about the Super Bowl. Forget about all the injuries. Fire Todd Bowles.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
You know,
I was going to say.
It was the turnovers, dude, and the penalties again.
Yep. And a lot of drop passes and a lot of missed tackles. And, again, the opportunity to be a signature defense. That last drive, 19 plays, 80 yards, and they're not able to get off the field, not able to make a play. That's what it also comes down to.
Exactly.
All right, what else?
Exactly, dude. They beat themselves, dude.
They did.
I'm not taking. They took advantage of it. Washington took advantage and did what they needed to do to win. But the Bucs beat themselves.
Yep. Well, good news is the Saints lost to the Titans today in a close game, 23-21. So they gained no ground at this point. Dallas won. Your thoughts of the number 1 seed are basically slipping away when you're losing.
Still plenty of football left.
Yeah, plenty of football left, but you got to play better. You definitely got to play better, and they didn't.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they came out and played like that after a 5 seed. That's just
disappointing. All right, what else?
I hope Vita Vea is okay. I don't know.
Didn't look too good.
I didn't see the hit. I didn't see what happened. I just saw him laying on the field. Then they had to take him off the field. Was it Vita Vea or is it somebody else?
No, it was Vita Vea. Unfortunately, it was Vita Vea on that cart. And, of course, this goes back to the last year Chicago game where he had a leg injury, and you hope everything's okay. But that scene didn't look too good. So we'll monitor that situation.
You got to start to wonder. That's 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You get to start wondering about this guy's durability, man. You know?
Well, but we know how much of a huge impact he is on this defensive line. And now guys are going to have to step up like a Nacho. Steve McClendon was inactive today. More than likely, if this is a long-term injury, he's going to be active. Guys got to step up. It's just another injury. And going back to what the legend said, Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member, look, you may be able to avoid the injury bug last year, but not this year. The injury bug has bit the Bucs hard, and not good.
Vita Vea is a great player. I'll give you that, but he's no good to us if he's hurt.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And it's 2 years in a row. It's the second half of the season. This happened in the second half of the season last year, and he didn't even play until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, but we saw the impact that he made on that Buccaneer defensive line. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a major injury, but if it is, once again, just another injury that the Bucs are going to have to overcome. But, the effort today defensively was disappointing. Todd Bowles would tell you that's not the type of defense you want to play. You even blitz and you're not able to get off the field. You're not able to make tackles. Washington's able to convert those first downs, and that runs the clock. It runs the clock out. You have no chance after that.
That's exactly right.
So,
all right, man. Well, I'm in the middle of a watch party, so I got to make some hamburgers for some people.
All right, my friend. We'll have fun. Enjoy it, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Yep. Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot for the call. Open phone line, 727-255-0033. 0391 and 727-255-0391 live here at Ducky Sports Lounge after a disappointing loss for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19 against the Washington football team. Coming into the game, once again, we told you, and even Harry the Greek told you, that this game could be close, and it was close. And once again, when you commit those turnovers in the first half, when you give those extra opportunities and you leave a bad team in this game, it comes back to haunt you.
Yep.
And it did.
It did. Turnovers and time of possessions killed you.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's go back out to the texting line here. Smoke and mirrors. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to say. SD, us, 4,800. The game was an effing embarrassment. Troy Polamalu, King Troy. Bucs fans crying in their cars right now. I mean, I thought you were a Bucs fan. I don't know what you are at this point. But then again, we faced a backup quarterback. He's not a backup quarterback. He's the starting quarterback of the Washington football team. And again, he played like a starting quarterback in this league.
Yep.
What's wrong with Tampa? I mean, injuries. I mean, what's wrong with Tampa in your opinion? Go ahead and give your synopsis, if you will.
Oh, all I need is one word: is injuries.
Yeah, injuries.
Injuries is
effort.
It's
broken tackles, not tackling right away. Turnovers, penalties.
It's been like that for the past 2 games. They got to break that funk some way, somehow.
Let's see here. We were awful against them. Corey says, let's go. Bucs lost to the worst team in the league. I doubt that, Corey. Dave England, terrible defense and 2 terrible turnovers lost the game. Jeremiah says, why? Corey says, Vita Vea return NFC Championship. Repeat. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. Brady knows Leftwich is trash. Doubt that. Boo-hoo, Tampa Bay, go Bears. All right. Fat Mike there, Chicago Sports 1252. Cut Rojo. Rojo didn't even play the game. What are you talking about?
Rojo was where he needed to be.
I mean, I mean, some of you people right now really need to look yourselves in the mirror. I get it. You lose to the Washington football team, but relax, okay? Now you're starting to piss me off. Fire Bulls, fire Byron Leftwich. Come on, man. Come on. All right, let's go on to Tony. Defense gives up a 10-minute drive to a clown named after a beer. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You're not able to make stops.
Nope, not able to get off the field, make stops.
Not able to get off the field.
He's able to extend plays, find guys. And the key part, these guys are just making catches with defenders all over them. So I got to give credit when credit's due. Those guys played.
Well, Bucs are down 16-6 at halftime. They come out, get a drive there, tip pass to Brate, which he had a lot of those things going on today. It was a weird game, making it 16-13. At that point, Brady was 16 for 26, 152, 4 for 4 on third down conversions. I think they finished for the day 4 for 10 or something, 4 for 11 on third downs. So not a great day converting third downs. And then on top of it, the big play to put them back into it, the 40-yard pass to Mike Evans. What do you see on that play, Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49?
Brady saw it from the get-go. He knew the safeties were staying over top.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to have Mike Evans once the corner sat flat. And then Mike Evans went by him. Safety wasn't going to be able to get over top quick enough.
Yeah.
And Thomas threw a beautiful ball in stride to Mike Evans, which he scored and ties Mike Allstaff for the most touchdowns in Tampa Bay history.
Of course, that play is set up by the key play of the man on the spot, Mr. Levante David, doing his best Charles Tillman impression, the peanut punch.
It was perfect.
Antoine Winfield recovering the pass, giving the Bucs offense new life in a short field. And, of course, Brady and Evans know what to do with it. Key play by Levante David. What'd you see on that?
Yeah, I saw that from the get-go. I saw Levante come in and punch the ball out like he always does. He wanted to recover it, but Antoine Winfield had other options, other plans, and grabbed it and recovered. It was a great play by Levante, who's had numerous of those over the past 5 seasons.
Yeah, the defense today had 5 sacks, so they played, in that aspect somewhat well. But again,
it was on key plays.
Right. You're not able, and then another critical penalty, which makes it 23-13 before you get back into the D. Delaney pass interference.
Yeah, and it puts it at the wall.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those things come back to kill you. You basically you give the Washington football team an opportunity to score a touchdown on a silver platter. And that is what's plagued this Bucs team overall.
And here's the Lions
Critical
going for
penalties.
the win.
Lions going for the win here. All right, let's see. Let's see if Mr. Harry the Greek is correct here. 48 yards, and he is...
Did it get blocked?
I don't know what the hell that was. No good.
Yeah,
Not even
no
close.
air on it.
No air. I don't know what that was. But Lions, once again, trying to lose on a field goal attempt.
They said, we don't want this.
We don't want to win. No, nobody wants to win if you're a Lions fan right now. You want the first overall pick. All right. Let's see here. Let me go back to it. All right. I'm in Dominican. You suck asses. Seriously lost to the Washington football team. I mean,
just call us champ.
Right. But you didn't play like it today. That's the point. You didn't play like that today. Brady for the day, 23 for 34, 220, 2 touchdowns. And, of course, the 2 interceptions. One of those not his fault, but it goes in the stat book as his fault. Isn't that crazy how that works?
It's the man dead in the chest, and he turns upfield.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Crazy. I mean, you try to figure out the NFL sometimes, and we told you it would be a close game. It's always going to be a close game. It's going to be a nip and tuck game, especially when you turn over the ball. And I know I sound like a broken record, or I sound like a bad mumble rap song on the radio, which, by the way, most of every mumble rap song is bad. Okay? But turnovers, penalties, critical situations where you give the ball up, you give the team second life, that doesn't work. It doesn't work in this NFL. It doesn't. I don't care how talented and good you are.
Oversnapped their head. Steelers are trying to give it to him.
Oh, my God. What are the Steelers doing at this point?
He said, what do we do?
So we got a barn burner going on, 16-all there in Pittsburgh.
High-scoring affair there.
Pittsburgh is trying to lose the game. Detroit is trying to lose the game. You got Seattle and Green Bay.
Nobody's trying to win.
Nobody's trying to win at this point. The Bucs are trying to win at this point. Any given Sunday, NFL is week to week. It is. Let's go out to Corey. We need Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy, Bunting back, and Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown. Preach again. Preach again to the choir, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously. Seriously. That's what you need.
I mean, we only been saying that.
What's the call-in number? 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. There it is right there. I apologize if you guys forgot it.
They picked off.
And is intercepted as we speak in overtime. Detroit is in business. Is that Javion Elliott, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer?
Yes, it is.
It is Javion Elliott right there, the man on the spot. Jeremiah says we don't have Derwin James. Well, look, you never had Derwin James. What's that all about? You have Vita Vea instead. Ryan goes,
we're still on that.
It's a great way Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing now. It's awesome. And so are your Saints, my friend. So are your Saints. Great job, Brian, by losing that game today. You lost 2 straight. You lost to the Atlanta Falcons, and you lost to a Derrick Henry team. No Derrick Henry at all. Congratulations. You're an idiot. All right, let's go out to the phone lines here. Welcome to NSPN's post-game edition live from Duckies. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony. Go ahead.
Peter! What up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Hey, listen, I want to start by saying this, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, what a shitty loss. But it's okay, but listen.
Yes.
We got this. Number one, we're still first in the division.
Correct.
We're still only halfway through the season. We can clean up. But I want to start by saying for all those dumbasses saying hire our coaches, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
For real, first of all, when your quarterback is throwing two picks to start the game, it starts with that, bro. When your quarterback's out there throwing interceptions, you can't blame that on your coach, right?
No,
come on, man.
You can't blame
the coach
that on
has to throw it. Everybody knows that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't blame that. I mean, you blame that on Jalen Darden. It looks like, again, Jalen Darden pops the ball up on the second play here, and I wanted to talk to you. Just hold on to Alex. I know where you're calling from, Alex from Baltimore. Thanks a lot for the call. What did you see on that second play? Because I was looking to you off the air, and I said that looked reminiscent of the Saints game last year, the first game of the year. What's Brady seeing on that? Is that an overthrow, bad throw? What do you see on that?
Ball's got to be an overthrow. That's an overthrow.
Oh, yeah.
Ball's got to be in front, not high.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's an overthrow. Are we talking about the tips? Are we also talking about don't forget about the tipped interception, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that ain't on him.
I mean, that's 2 weeks in a
Chili.
row by Darden. Isn't that 2 weeks in a row by Darden? I mean,
no.
Shit.
No,
but I thought he made one in New Orleans. Did he not?
No.
Did he have one?
No, he barely got any touches in New Orleans.
Yeah, no. Wow, Valdez.
But either way, for all those saying fire our coaches, chill. Don't forget, these are the same coaches.
Yeah.
That we are. As far as Leftwich goes, don't forget. I mean, he's the coach leading the offense to at least 30 points a game last year, leading all the way to the Super Bowl.
And he even did it with Jameis Winston here.
He did it with Jameis.
Yep.
I mean, but I don't know. I just think in order to go forward, just put this behind us. We got this. We're only halfway through the season. Clean up. And no, we got some injuries. I'm hoping that. Shoot.
Sue. I mean, not Sue.
Vita Vea's okay. I hope he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've been suffering a lot of injuries, man. So, everybody tends to forget about the injuries that we,
Yeah, I mean, the injuries don't help. I mean, it compounds things. You don't have Carlton Davis. You don't have Sean Murphy-Bunting. You have an inexperienced corner in D. Delaney not only getting beat on the first touchdown, but committing a critical penalty where it gives Washington that opportunity to go up 23-13, and you're in a bigger hole.
Right.
So it's disappointing, but again, it has to be next man up. They're on to the Giants on Monday Night Football. You got to get over this quick, because if you don't, you're going down a hole.
Everybody just has to step up a little bit, and if we step up a little bit until we get all of our guys back, our starting front, I think we're going to be all right. It's just everybody needs to chill with the whole. I'm putting this out there. Everybody needs to chill with the whole. Let's fire our coaches. That's ridiculous. That's absurd nonsense. That's absurd bullshit. But either way, guys, I got to go. Go Bucs. I'm sorry, my phone's breaking up a lot.
Go ahead and
appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you there, Alex from Baltimore calling in. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go back out to the comments. Vita needs to get in shape. He eats too much pizza. Okay. Let's see here. Corey says no. Fire Bucs cornerback coach Richard Sherman takes over. He's not the cornerback coach, man. That was one game. Stop playing. Christopher Cole, this game wasn't good enough for our defense. It wasn't good. It wasn't good by the defense. Offensively, you got down. You didn't do a good job of keeping the ball. I mean, we talk about it over and over again, the turnover situation, and then your defense not able to get off the field. Running the ball was non-existent once again, but the problem is when you get down early in this game, you're forced to be one-dimensional, and that's what teams want you to do. That's how they want to approach defending this Bucs offense, right?
Yep, pretty much. You can't get the ball, and you can't keep the ball.
Yep.
And you didn't run the ball, so that's what happens.
All right, let's go back out to the comments. Tompeso, some players don't want to get their hands dirty. Laziness. I mean, it looked like in instances with Gibson scoring, not the last touchdown, but the first touchdown, the offensive line is pushing that defensive line, that vaunted defense versus the rushing game back on their heels. That can't happen. And it happened today. All right. Blame Eric says Jordan. I don't know about that. What's that? If Tampa Bay Buccaneers knock out playoff round, Tom Brady will not be back. We're jumping to conclusions here. They're 6-3.
Every team that loses in the playoffs won't be back.
Right. Right. They're going home, but I think he's saying retired at this point. So, let's see here. Bucs Report president, come join our post-game show at the Duck Bar and Grill. Gabriel says, I literally placed a $1,200 bet on the Bucs to win, laugh out loud, because I had to bet a rollover on my bookie, and oh man, I lost that hard. Uh-oh. Sorry, Gabe. Secondary stinks. I'm not going to say what he said. It don't matter. We're still in first place. David goes, Vea out, so goes the season. Too many injuries. Very poor play calls on offense. How dare these coaches say we don't need this guy or that guy for this game. We could beat anyone with our team. I mean, coming into it, you had to like the matchup, right, Blake Anthony? I mean, 27 defense overall, but you turn the ball over, and that kills the momentum.
So OBJ ain't got nothing to do with you turning the ball over.
Well, I mean, I think it comes back to Brown and Gronk being out also.
Yeah,
we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, they should.
I don't expect them not to say that, David. I expect them to say that. They're going to be okay. Let's go out to Dustin. At least the Saints lost. There you go. Phil says, no AB, no Gronk is a big deal for Brady. Drop balls today were a huge difference maker. Any given Sunday got behind early, and Riverboat Ron had a great game plan.
Yes, he did.
And we didn't even talk about him. I mean, here's a coach that has always given the Bucs everything they could handle when he was with the Carolina Panthers. He's a cancer survivor. You're going through a 4-game losing streak. What better way to get your team back into the thick of it? Because you never know. You know, right now, Dallas destroys the Atlanta Falcons. So they're leading, but you get your team back in that division race with a big-time win against the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, win the division. They get a home game.
That's it. Let's go out to David. These players are doing the same damn things week in and week out. Where is the accountability? No urgency, no up-tempo. Too many Lenny checkdowns and horizontal throws. Agree with that? I think that's coming back to maybe Chris Godwin not necessarily being open. It also comes back to, guys, if you're one-on-one, you got to beat your matchups. You didn't see a lot of that today besides Mike Evans on that big play, right?
No, they bracketed Evans as they always do. They jumped a lot of the underneath routes. They dropped defensive linemen back in coverage. Tom does what he always does, and everybody's brand new now. He throws to his backs. We just don't.
Right.
I mean, Leonard's going to catch passes, but he's not like a James White who's going to always make the first guy miss and things like that.
What did he finish up with today with catches?
Oh, yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, like 10 catches at least?
Like I say, he couldn't break the first tackle and get extra yardage, but that's Tom Brady. He takes the check down instead of forcing the ball and throw interceptions. That's what we signed up for when they took him.
I'm going to look at the stats right now on this. Leonard Fournette, 11 carries for 47 yards. Catches-wise, 8 for 45. Evans for 262. Chris Godwin, 7 for 57. Jalen Darden with a 29-yarder. And that's about it. I mean, honestly, give the Washington football team
didn't have the ball a lot, so there ain't a whole lot going to happen.
No, but again, when the opposing team has the ball nearly 40 minutes and your defense is not able to get off the field, doesn't matter how many offensive weapons you have. I keep on saying it, and people keep on trying to say, it's a passing league. It's a passing league. It goes back to football 101. You have to run the ball. You have to possess the ball. You can't turn over the ball. And you have to play good defense.
Yep, got to get off the field.
Simple.
Not 11 for 19.
Russell Wilson on the run there nearly got crushed. Throws the ball out of bounds there. What do we got on the Detroit game? Did they just lose again?
Detroit. No, they took it off. I
took it off.
We got caught up talking about what was going on in this game.
Well, we check that score right now. It is still 16-all. God, my vision is bad. 52 seconds, I think, left in the game. Let's see here. We were due to a game like this anyways. Might as well get it out of the way now. Phil Haney, Cowboys lost to Denver last week, and they own the Falcons this week. Calm the F down, people. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you that.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you on that. Good stuff there. Thanks a lot. Of course, Shooter and Stash right there. That's the Stash. Couldn't get off the field on third down, but no offensive holds on Washington all game. Come on. Our cornerbacks reverted to the garbage fundamentals. I saw 15 yards playing off wide receivers. You mentioned this. Why were they doing this? Do they not have faith in that back end? Why were they playing so far off? Were they scared of giving up deep plays? What's going on there?
Probably that, or whoever's on the inside's got to get underneath to split that. And sometimes they just weren't getting there. There was a lot of miscommunication in this game, and just a whole lot of mistackle.
And miscommunication, and that's one of the things that Brady talked about, and that's one of the things that the team talked about this week with the miscommunication. It happened again. Lions suck. They do suck, Harry.
They must have blew it.
Well, they blew the field goal to win the game. It looks like Pittsburgh is driving, so Pittsburgh is most likely going to win. The Lions will continue this jaunt down history to go 0-17. We'll see.
They said they're going to break the record.
Yes, still have a few weeks to clean this mess up, get some key players back from injury. Let's go Tampa. I like it. I like the positivity.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Harry again. Carolina up 14-0.
Ooh.
With P.J. Walker at the controls. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. What were your thoughts on Cam Newton signing that deal with Carolina this week?
He wants to go back where has been established at for years. That's probably why he didn't play nowhere else. He didn't like moving around team to team, so he's back right where he's at and doing what he normally does.
Can he make them competitive to where they could scare Tampa and the Saints or has he seen his best days, in your opinion?
If Cam's healthy, he can still compete.
Right.
Cam, first and foremost, is an athlete. You'll watch the highlights today. Cam Newton can still run in the goal line as he broke multiple tackles and ran over a defender to score. So that ability is still there. So I don't think it's gone anywhere.
Right.
It's just him staying healthy.
All right, update here. Quick update. 16 all. Of course, Big Ben not playing in this game because of COVID. Mason, the greatness of Mason Rudolph at midfield here. Snap. Rudolph got DeAndre Johnson. He's got to get out of bounds. He gets out of bounds. Looks like he's close to the first down there. It may. You got the Steeler fan over there. Imagine how he feels, right? I mean, it could always be worse.
It's
any given – right. But if you play down to a team, that's what's going to happen.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
That's it. Tricks are for kids. Man, nobody wants to win this game, laugh out loud.
No.
David, what do you mean we were due a game like this? This game was 2 weeks ago. Now another garbage effort by both units.
Yep.
Evans shows up for one pass in the fourth quarter.
He's bracketed all game. Other people have to contribute.
I mean, again, you got to beat your one-on-one matchups.
Yeah,
Godwin coming into the game, not necessarily 100%. He looked okay. Not having an Antonio Brown hurts. Not having a Scotty Miller hurts. Not having a Rob Gronkowski hurts.
Yeah,
it all hurts.
Hurts the offense.
Yep.
They know Mike's your best weapon. They take him away.
Yep.
Everybody else has to win their matchups and make them come out of that. That didn't happen.
Do we got a tie here? What happened?
Oh, he got tackled in bounds.
Did he get tackled in bounds? Did he get out of bounds? Like oh, he fumbled the ball out of bounds.
Oh, no.
No. It's recovered by the Lions?
Oh, my gosh. Nobody wants to win. You can have
We're
it.
going to have a tie.
You can have it. It's a hot potato right here, Peter.
All right, NSPN Tampa Bay TV. If you're watching, smash the like and share button. Love it. Dusty Grove, call it for what you want. The biggest loss of the day was watching Vita Vea go down on pretty much a meaningless play at the end of the crap game. Yep. That was the real punch in the nuts for me. I mean, that's tough. Dusty, you're exactly right. And we saw the impact of what Vea could do for that defensive line, what he does for that rush defense at that point. And guys like Nacho are going to have to step up. Steve McClendon, who's been inactive the last couple weeks, are going to have to step up. Guys like that are going to have to step up. And we'll see. We'll see if it's a long-term injury at this point. It didn't look good.
It did not, Peter.
Did not look good. All right, let's go out to David again. Not the coaches, it's the players. I'm sick of White hopping around after making a tackle on first down. You know, hop around when you stop a player on third down. Look, he played his ass off today. That was one player.
Almost 20 tackles.
Almost 20 tackles, two sacks. I understand where a lot of people are saying they're going back to the game last week where he gets the 15 yards. He didn't have that today. He had a redeeming game. There were some broken tackles by him. We saw that. We saw a lot of Bucs players, you know, getting basically losing technique, if you will, not good form tackling. Nope. That's for sure.
It was a lot of fundamental breakdowns in the shorter version of what Peter was saying.
So coaches, I mean, of course it's on the coaches, but should the coaches be taking the blame for this, for not having this team ready to play in the first half after a bye week?
Again, I don't know what kind of coaching you're going to do if you throw a ball and it hits a guy in the chest.
Right.
He catches it, turns upfield, and it pops out for an interception. I don't know what coach could change that.
Right.
The other one is just an overthrown ball. Again, that's on the quarterback, not the coach. So I just don't understand where you're coming with this coaching thing from. Did they not score 30 points this game? Yeah. You played a defensive-minded head coach, played a defensive-minded team. They came out here and played. They kept you off the field. They ran the ball, converted on third downs. Those are those kind of games. If you don't get people off the field, it doesn't mean just all coaching was bad. It's just they made one more play than you did. I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't always mean somebody was bad or out-coached. You just didn't make the plays you need to make. It's really what happened today.
Yeah.
To sum it all up.
Agree, RD isn't playing with fire and urgency. I'm not sure why these guys aren't self-policing these errors each week.
I mean, how do you know they don't?
Right. I mean, again, but it keeps on happening, and that's what fans are kind of saying. You know, you have the critical penalties. Again, you're depending on a D. Delaney, which you can't grab the player and get that pass interference at the goal line because that's the momentum right at that point.
No,
makes it 23-13.
Yep, and they answered the Bucs score when they
Right.
went down and scored, and then
that's what I'm
Washington
talking about.
came right back
there.
and scored back.
You're close in the game. It's 16-13. You're feeling good about yourself, and then you let Washington go down there, and you pick up a critical penalty on pass interference to give them put the ball at the 1 yard line.
Yep.
So all right, let's go out. Let's see here. Yeah, but he was stopped on that play and didn't blow the whistle. I've seen multiple plays just like that get whistled as forward progress.
Stop. Talking about the Gibson play.
Yeah, Gibson play. And then the other play there looked like the tight end or the wide receiver for the Redskins fell on top of the player, dropped the ball, and they gave the ball back to him. So,
he said his elbow hit the ground.
Okay, well, it looked like his elbow and his whole body hit the player. He was on top of the player at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying. I mean, my eyes are bad. They're not that bad. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as the Bucs fall to the Washington football team 29-19. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go on to Corey here. Brown will now make playoffs. All wide receivers are trash. He only got Baker Mayfield and Chubb and good defense. So the Browns get absolutely destroyed by the New England Patriots and rookie quarterback Mac Jones. How surprised were you by that, especially with the effort and the momentum seemingly going in the Browns' way after the defeat of the Cincinnati Bengals last week?
You said it earlier in this game. It's a week-to-week.
It's
a week-to-week league. It's a week-to-week league.
Yeah. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. Welcome to NSPN's post-game edition. Yours truly, along with Blake Anthony. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Peter. How you doing? It's me, Gabe.
What's going on, Gabe? How you doing? Your thoughts on this game after the Bucs fall to 6-3?
I don't even want to. This game was embarrassing to say the absolute least. It was absolutely embarrassing to watch.
Yeah, it was embarrassing to watch, especially when it comes to third down for this Bucs defense, not able to get off the field. Once again, 11 for 19 for the Washington football team. And it's just, your longest drive of the year, you've got to make a stop. If you make a stop, at least you give your offense the opportunity to get the ball back. 19 plays, 80 yards. 19 plays, 80 yards. You're not able to get off the field. And consequently, that's the game at that point.
Yeah, given the injuries in the secondary and just given the fact that we just failed to execute on a lot of plays, we deserve this loss. Don't blame the coaches on this. They're not the reason why we failed. It's the fact that we had horrible execution.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Yeah, horrible execution. That starts in the first half when you're down 16-6 to a bad football team. But still, a bad football team that is looking for a win, that is desperate for a win. You get down 16-6, and like Blake said, you get back into the game with the Bray touchdown, and you give up another drive with the penalty accompanying it to put them at the 1 yard line for the pass interference. And then it's 23-13. You're once again in a hole. It seemed like the Bucs, one step forward, two steps back. Doing the tango there, but the tango wasn't good today in Washington, D.C. Tango, exactly. Go ahead, Dave.
The tango.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
But, yeah, this entire game, we deserve this loss. We just beat the hell out of ourselves. It was basically what we saw with every time we faced the Saints last year, just key penalties that kept us from scoring and just not being able to get off the field. I mean, what'd you say Washington had as far as time of possession?
39 minutes.
39 minutes, nearly 40 minutes of time possession. I mean, they're playing old school football. Punch you in the mouth, run the ball.
That is not something you do.
No, you can't. And you lose to a 2-6 football team. Now they're 3-6, and the Bucs are 6-3. And honestly, you watch this game today, I couldn't tell which team was, coming into it with the advantage, honestly. Because Washington, again, they played with their best effort, and they did everything correctly. They had one turnover that put the Bucs back into business.
Yep.
But besides that, very clean football game. So.
Yeah, fairly clean. And I think a key advantage they had is that they were healthier than us. We had several injuries with receivers. We all know our secondary is pretty much stepped on a landmine, but nothing we can really do about that if we can't even stay on the field.
Yeah, or you couldn't get off the field. I mean, that was the thing.
Just get off the field,
yeah.
my bad.
No problem, Gabe. Anything else, buddy?
Yeah. Shoot, if we keep on playing like this, do horrible competition, then we are not going to do anything as far as playoffs are concerned. But hey, I'm hopeful. Positives out of the game. Mike Evans is continuing to be a 1,000-yard receiver. Braid had a good touchdown, and we're just going to be healthier at this point and on.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I have hope.
You got to get healthy, but the bad news is Vita Vea. We don't know the extent of the injury, but last play of the game, he was on a cart, so not good.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate injury to have. Yep. We saw what happened last year whenever Vea was out, and how teams were able to run against us a lot more efficiently with him gone.
Well, I will say this, not necessarily run against this team, but the pass rush wasn't there. And when Vea got back in that Green Bay game, you could see how it freed up guys like a JPP, who, by the way, he's not 100%.
He's falling off, man.
He's
past
torn labrum. He has not been good. Shaq Barrett, you didn't hear from him. I mean, again, give the Washington football team offensive staff credit too, but Bucs still had 5 sacks in this game, and now you lose Vea, and the impact of what he could do with that defensive line, freeing up those other players on the outside. We'll see what happens. Good stuff, Gabe. Appreciate the call. All right, don't be a stranger here live on NSPN. All right.
All right, I'll see you guys later. I got to study for finals.
All right, study for finals, my friend. There you go. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Harry the Greek as he called in. We'll get his thoughts, and we'll get your thoughts. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Harry the Greek, professional handicapper, 1252 Sports. What happened with that Detroit game? Detroit, once again, trying to lose, right?
Detroit tried to lose. Pittsburgh tried to lose. It was just a comedy of errors. But you know what? It's a push, so I don't lose. But I did cover the game, though. So you know what? When Detroit is a winless team and you get a push, I'll take it as a win. I could care less.
Good stuff. So what do you see with this Bucs game? You were the guy that said before the game, and then the line was coming in about 10 and a half. You said, that's a trap. This game is going to be a lot closer with all the Bucs injuries. You were exactly right.
I don't want to be right. I didn't want to be right in that game, but I seen the writing on the wall, and I just heard that talking that one team's hurt more than the other. You know what? I can tell you something. Arguably, Washington's 2 best defensive players didn't play.
Yeah, Montez Sweat and Chase Young, they lost him early in the first half. Yeah.
Right. Offensively, Washington's been a little bit challenged as well. Tampa Bay suffered a little bit of trying to stop the run.
Right.
Once the interceptions happened, then Tampa had to keep going back to the chuck, and, just keep chucking the football.
Yeah.
It was just very unfortunate, but it looked like they were going to get back into the game. Brady, you understand that Tom Brady almost threw 3 interceptions in the first half. He's never done that in his career.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Amazing turn of events because that ball goes off of Godwin's foot. It looks like the defender is going to catch it for the interception, but the ball hits the ground, luckily for the Bucs. But you're exactly right. But, the Jalen Darden thing, that's not on him. That's on Jalen Darden, but, of course, he gets counted. The second interception, I don't know where he was throwing the ball. It was a bad overthrow. Looked like the same play to Evans in the New Orleans game. Overthrew Evans or a bad route. We'll see in the press conference from BA on the explanation on that play.
Listen, don't put too much water in the glass with this loss.
Right.
It's not quite DEFCON 5 yet. You're still winning the division. You're still pretty much a solid lock to make the playoffs. However, with that being said, everybody knows it's a game of staying healthy and a game of confidence.
Yep.
And without Vita Vea, that's a major loss. Now, look, you don't have to go slice your wrist and jumping off the Skyway Bridge yet. This team, it's plain and simple, guys, and that's going to be a very unpopular opinion. It's just not as good as it was last year. It can be.
Right.
Okay? It can be, and it probably will be. But right now, this isn't a testament on how good the players are.
Right.
Now we're going to see what this coaching staff is made of. Now their backs are against the wall. They've lost to a New Orleans team, let me get this straight, with a third-string quarterback, and they lost to a Washington football team who now has its 3rd win of the season.
true. They're very.
You have got when you're 9 and 10 point favorites, you have got to beat the brakes off of these type of teams. And I've said it before. It's not a big deal yet. Now, if they do this again next week, now it's time for DEFCON 5.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this team has to get back to the basics. I thought they were going to run the football. Blake, you and I were talking about that with you and with Peter, and they just refused to do that.
Yep.
Well, they refused to do it because they weren't successful. You know, the Washington football team coming into this game 11th overall, but you're exactly right. Only 11 carries for Leonard Fournette, and throwing a lot of short passes. Me and Blake talked about this. You couldn't see, but guys not beating their one-on-one matchups. Of course, you're probably bracketing Mike Evans. Everybody else has to get open. Godwin with somewhat of a good game, but everybody else. And this is where not having a Gronkowski, not having an Antonio Brown really hurts your offense.
Yes, it does. And I'm really tired of making excuses for Chris Godwin, and I've been doing it since the playoffs last year. When he started getting the case of the oopsies, I made excuses, because he had a surgically repaired hand. Because they rushed him back.
Right.
You know what the bottom line is? He's a number 2 wide receiver for a reason. He is not a number 1, period. At the end, I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. I've watched too much tape on him. Last year, before he hurt his hand, I was going to say, you know what? Someone's going to be very, very fortunate to get this young man. They're going to be very fortunate. This could be a number 1 wide receiver. When he dropped all those passes against Washington, he dropped them against New Orleans, he dropped them against Green Bay in the playoffs. And he's continuing to do it now with very inconsistent route running. That's a problem. And you are not a number 1 wide receiver. So the Antonio Brown injury, I retract what I said in the pregame show and said, hey, if they're going to have an injury, they could afford to have it at the wide receiver position, not the tight end position. I stand to be corrected. Even I'm wrong, and I'm going to admit it. That Antonio Brown injury is significant because AB is a true number 1.
Yeah. Well, I still think Chris Godwin is, but again, like you said, he's playing inconsistent. Tyler Johnson dropped some passes today. There's a lot of people here on this team that had dropped passes. But you're exactly right.
But they're not running the right routes.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a problem. And that comes back to what? Blake Anthony, communication, which is one of the focal points of what we heard from Brady and this whole team this week about getting back to it, improving, and not only improving with walkthroughs and practices, but also communication during the game.
I can't definitively sit up here and say they ran the wrong route because I don't know what the play call is.
Right.
I could say that they don't get separations. They don't get separation. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they're not getting. It's just the sharpness of the route, Blake. You're not seeing when they're running the quick ins.
Yeah,
it's more of a circle. Yeah. It's more of a circle instead of being demanding. Yeah. And when you're not crisp on your route, your quarterback is off by a quarter of a second, sometimes a full second. What happens? Hesitation creates problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not trying to stick up for Brady. He laid out 2 interceptions. One of them, I have no idea where he was going with the ball. But you know what? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not DEFCON 5. You don't have to jump off the Skyway Bridge. The team is just not as good as it was last year, but it has the capabilities to do it. And I am going to fully hold the coaching staff responsible from this point to the end of the season and how they handle, the turmoil that's happening within the organization. And I'm using the word turmoil because everybody expected this team to just roll through these type of games.
Yeah.
And it's not happening.
No, it's not happening. It's because of mental mistakes. It's because of mental errors, penalties. Once again, some critical penalties at critical times, which gave Washington second chances. Again, going back to the interference, you're depending on a D. Delaney instead of a Carlton Davis. I'm not saying it's not going to happen with those players, but more than likely, you're not putting Delaney in that spot, and you could see a couple instances today where he looked like he was outmatched.
I just don't want to see Bruce Arians in his presser today pointing fingers as he's done before in the past.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that right there could really kill the morale in a clubhouse. It's okay to point fingers when you're winning.
Yeah.
But when you've lost 2 games in a row, don't be the dick that he can be. And that's what bothers me about this coaching staff, because he is very indicting to his players. I do not like when coaches call out players time and time and time again.
Right.
It's very, very frustrating to watch, and it's very frustrating to an organization. Although he is a Super Bowl winning head coach, he does have issues like that, and it's just not very good to do because there's nothing worse than keeping to beat someone down. Like the way I'm beating on Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Bruce Allen comes out public like that could kill someone's confidence.
Yeah, Bruce Arians, absolutely. We're on with Harry the Greek, our professional handicapper here, 1252 Chicago Sports. The other disappointing thing had to be seeing Vita Vea on the cart, but also the defense somewhat being on the cart today when it came to third down. I mean, 11 for 19. You're just not going to win games, Harry.
Not many.
Nope.
If you can't get off the field, and that longest drive at the end of the game to ice them, 19 plays, 80 yards. I mean, what did you see Washington doing? Basically just man-on-man blocks and just punching the Bucs defense in the mouth, right?
They played harder.
Yeah.
I mean, you really want to know the truth. They just played harder.
Yeah.
They wanted this game more. It was a statement game for them. They know what they gave up last year in the playoffs, and they wanted to show the National Football League, okay, we can go winless this year, but we're going to play to the way we were capable of playing in the playoffs.
Sure.
And I did say it pregame. Unfortunately, I didn't want to be right. I said this defense would get it right today, and they did it without their two best stars. That's bad.
Yeah, 300th catch by Adam Humphries, another big third down conversion. I mean, what did you see from that? And, of course, Humphries, Bucs fans know him throughout his career, 219 catches for the Bucs. That one was a killer, right, Blake Anthony?
Yeah, came in, stuck his foot in the ground, came inside, came back out, got separation, secured the catch, got to the ground, and stayed in bounds.
And even when the Bucs seemed to blitz, Heineke was
good.
Saw it
coming.
He was good. He was good enough to get rid of the ball quick. You convert the first down, and again, that runs the clock. And basically, if you run that much of a clock, it gives your offense no opportunity at that point, and then you can't even stop them on fourth down. So Ron Rivera, give him credit. Riverboat Ron, once again, owning the Bucs when it comes to fourth downs, and he did it that last drive. Anything else there, Harry?
Yeah, actually, I'm watching this Carolina-Arizona game, and I thought that was Cam Newton. That's P.J. Walker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I honestly thought that this was a young version of Cam Newton there for a minute. I'm like, boy, Carolina looks like geniuses again.
Right. I mean, I tell you right now, I don't understand why Walker hasn't been given more of a shot. I mean, he was in the XFL.
He's killing it.
And he's mobile, and he's got a good arm, and he's smart, and he knows Matt Rule because I believe played at Temple. So I don't know why this kid hasn't been given a shot. And I tell you right now, if he plays well like he is right now, he'll more than likely be your starter over Cam Newton. Hate to say it, but if Walker's playing good and he's playing great and he's leading that team to wins, then you have to go with the hot hand, I think. I do.
Yep, without question. And you know what? Before I hang up, I'll give you guys some update on some scores. Carolina's winning 17-0. Second quarter, 10 minutes to go. They're driving right around the 30.
Any given
Philadelphia on the road at midfield right now. It's 10-0. End of the first quarter, about 30 seconds to go at Denver. Seattle and Green Bay, minute to go. Seattle has the ball at midfield, 0-0. And Minnesota and the Chargers. Minnesota's driving close to the goal line. It's first and goal, 7 minutes to go in the second period. And that is tied at 3 as well.
Some good football games, and once again, the surprising moment, not only the Bucs losing to the Washington football team, but how about the New England Patriots? I mean,
spanking.
They're back. I'm sorry. They're in the thick of it now. They're going to give Buffalo everything they can handle. And, surprise, surprise, Bill Belichick and his rookie quarterback into Mac Jones. Told you, Mac Jones is pretty good.
Yeah, but you had them going to the wrong team. But anyway, we're not going there. And that, by the way, that was my game. That was probably one of my games of the week. Cleveland got absolutely spanked. But you know what? I hate to talk in the third person. The Greeks having another really, really good day today.
Shocker.
Dice,
Shocker. That's Harry the Greek right there. Go ahead. And, yes, he'll provide you some money if you listen to the man. Harry the Greek, go ahead and promote yourself, my friend.
Hey, man, thank you very much for having me on again. You can catch me on the Over-Under on 1252 Sports, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Friday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And my co-host is generally Mr. Peter Blake sitting right there.
That's
and
right.
We'll talk a little bit about some games. Gentlemen, have a great day.
I got to give you, hold on. I got to give you some walk-up music here. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to give you this music right here because you're the money man.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
All right, there you go. Harry the Greek, 1252 Sports. Thanks a lot for your time. All right, boss?
Cheers, gentlemen. Go Bucs.
Yes, go Bucs. And
Stay fresh.
it's quiet. You know, it's very quiet in Bucs land. You guys all right? You okay? Bucs are still 6-3, but they do fall to the Washington football team 29-19. What else did you see out of this game today?
That's it. Time of possession, ill-advised turnovers, and lack of execution on defense and offense.
Yeah.
So, got to get back to the drawing board and get things rolling.
I mean, you got to get players back, and I get it. You Brown has got an injury to his foot. You got Gronk, punctured lung, back spasms, ribs, you name it. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but he is a vital part of this offense. Do you think you can get back those guys versus the New York Giants for this primetime Monday night affair?
Hopefully, that some of them are about ready to go this game, so
Yeah.
we'll see what their status is with another 7 days.
And no Richard Sherman again. He
Hurt
hurt
it in
himself in warm-ups, a calf injury. I mean, stigmata for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when it comes to injuries right now. We're live here at Ducky's as everybody's looking at me right now like a crazy man. 1719 West Kennedy Boulevard in Tampa. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go out to Corey here. Okay, so Browns, yep. Gabe says if they get their team right, we can have a repeat Super Bowl win like Brady did with New England. David says nobody was getting open, though. No chunk play guys. No yak. Johnny Cinco, feeling good today. Johnny, thanks a lot for tuning in. Big-time Cowboy fan as they throttle the Atlanta Falcons. Bro, Riverboat Ron has owned you all. Do you agree with that? I mean, that's facts. He did own the Bucs when he was with Carolina and now with Washington. Gabe says Tom will play until he just starts coaching and then into an owner, and then he never retires. We'll see. David, I like Gio out of the backfield better than Lenny. Gio makes guys miss more than Leo.
Yep.
But the problem is Gio had some big-time drops today, namely that one in the red zone. Not saying he doesn't score, but you got to catch that pass and give your offense an opportunity.
Yep.
You got to give him a chance. There is no chance at that point. So you got to do better all around. Gabe, so we go with that. Went with that. Dusty goes. Otherwise, they got some cleaning up to do. Turnovers and penalties, man. That'll do it. David says, I agree, Peter. D couldn't get off the field when it counted. And I keep on going back to this, and I'll continue to go back to it. I don't care how explosive your offense is. I don't care. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Welcome to NSPN's watch party as the Bucs lose 29-19 to fall to 6-3. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Big Phil. Stash calling in.
What's up, Stash? How you doing? Your thoughts on the disappointing loss to the Washington football team?
I mean, you guys already covered a lot of it. You know, injuries, I think, on the offensive side of the ball don't have Brady as confident as he should be. A lot of big drops.
Yeah.
And they just weren't really gelling to start the game. And you got behind by a team that really was focused and ready to play. Ron Rivera, you know, he's coming ready with his team. So, but more than anything, I just think that this kind of a trap game. You're seeing some guys that maybe took it for granted on the Bucs side on the Bucs sideline.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like I feel like it's the midpoint of the season here, and it's almost the opposite of what happened last season, right?
Yeah.
The Bucs kind of struggled. It took them a little while to get on. They had that one game after the bye week, and then they were off.
Yeah.
This year they started off hot. They came out really firing all cylinders. Now they've had some injuries, and they're struggling in the middle of the season. You can get to the Super Bowl with the playoffs many ways, and I see this as just another way to get there. They're going to have to go through some growing pains. I saw somebody made the comment, hey, you're going to have to get this kind of game out of the way. I don't 100% agree with that sentiment, but this isn't a worst-case scenario like a couple guys were already saying earlier. There's no jumping off the bridge here. There's none of that. This is an opportunity for them to really take a look at it and see how they can adjust their game plan when these injuries do happen. You know, you saw finally Brake got in the end zone today. Where is that with Gronk and AB being gone? Like I said earlier, that's probably the biggest safety net Brady has on this team is those two guys.
Yeah.
He almost always knows exactly where those guys are going to be anytime they're on the field. it's a matter of figuring out where he can rely on one or two other guys on that offense to have that same relationship, because you can't just rely on those two guys because you're seeing that's happening on the offensive side of the ball. They got to figure something out in the backfield too. They got to figure it out. They've got a lot of talent back there. They want to go with Lenny, that's fine. But you guys already said they didn't commit to the run either.
No.
You know, and just because you don't get it early doesn't mean you got to abandon it. And you see a lot of teams do that in the NFL. And I totally agree with you, P. It's not just a passing league; it's a possession league. You got to have the ball. It's all about ball possession and owning that time of possession on the clock. And if you're not running the ball, you're not going to have that. It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. It's going to be a lot of 3rd and longs. And there's not a team in the league that's going to operate efficiently whenever you're in those situations. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the Bucs, the Cowboys, the Bills, whoever you are. You know, the Rams. If you want to talk those top 4 or 5 teams, all those teams are going to struggle in these situations. You know, so I think it really just comes down to those guys on offense getting together, Brady finding his other guys that he believes he can trust in, and then really that defense coming together and figuring out a way to be more of a team defense. I see these guys trying to play individual defense a little bit too much. And you saw even Shaq Barrett on that last touchdown, he had that guy behind the line of scrimmage. He had Gibson behind the line of scrimmage, let him go, ended up getting down there, and they were able to punch it in. And I don't necessarily think that it's like they're showboating or anything else like that. It's just whenever you have injuries and you have a little bit of holes here and there, you got to find a way to take a step back and play with a team mentality. And the other thing is, I didn't see a lot of adjustments. I'm not saying Todd Bowles needs to be fired or anything else like that. I just didn't see a lot of adjustments defensively in what they were doing when they started getting beat in the run game, or they were kind of taking advantages of some of what they were doing on the defensive side of the ball. So if that's a personnel situation, maybe he doesn't trust his personnel to make the adjustments there with the injuries or what. I'm not sure, but to me, it was a bit of a trap game. That's really what it came down to. A trap game after a bye week. And unfortunately, we saw the opposite last season. And so Bucs fans got their hopes up. Thought we were going to come out and have the exact same performance that we did last season after the bye week. And just because that didn't happen doesn't mean that this is a team that is shitting the bed. It didn't look that embarrassing to me, really. You know what I mean? It didn't really look that embarrassing. It looked like a team that was just a little bit off early and then just couldn't quite get back ahead of the ball.
Well, and we're on with Shooter and Stash's Stash himself, We the Thunder, great podcast about the Tampa Bay Lightning. Also they do Tampa Bay Rays stuff here, and you're absolutely right. It's stoop points, and then again your defense not able to get off the field on 3rd down, and you give up the worst drive, the longest drive of their season, 19 plays, 80 yards with the game on the line. That just tells you've got to clean some things up. And then on top of it, losing a Vita Vea possibly to a long-term injury. We'll check in, but, taking off on a cart, not a good sign.
Yeah, I agree with the guy that said that earlier. That's definitely the biggest gut punch out of this game.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. I got to give you some walk-up music because I didn't know who you were. Here we go.
That's so proud, brother.
Hold on.
It's more like walk-out music because he's leaving.
Walk-out music, that's it. All right, my friend, definitely don't be a stranger here live on NSPN, of course, the sports web during the week. All right, my friend?
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs. Absolutely. I'll give him a woo right there. Woo! Appreciate it. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Live here at Ducky Sports Lounge, 1719 West Kennedy Boulevard in Tampa, the best damn sports bar in Florida. We had it live today. Maybe not necessarily the result that you were looking for if you're a Bucs fan. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go back out to the comments here. Otherwise, they got some cleaning up to do. Turnovers, penalties, man. That'll do it. David says, okay, I read that. Corey says, Bucs stop wearing the white uniforms. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan Legend SC, Fire Bowls, bring back Monty. Now I know you're trolling. It's a wake-up call. I mean, you agree with that? Is that a wake-up call? I mean, we thought that the Saints game was a wake-up call. Is this truly now a wake-up call that, once again, like Brady said in the pregame show in his presser this week, you don't just roll your helmet out there. You got to go out and give your best effort.
He said it himself.
All right, let's go out to this guy right here. We'll give him some walk-up music. Stand by here, Troll King.
You know it's all about the boom.
All right, it's all about the boom. Mr. Tribal Troll himself, Roger Shue out of Newport Richie. Welcome to your NSPN I Love St. Pete post-game show. What do you have to say?
Peter Blake, all I got to say, man, is that your defense today, they got the boom, baby.
Well, they did, and I tell you right now, it goes back to the third down conversions. It also goes back to, look, if you want to be a signature defense, you've got to make a signature play.
Yep.
You've got to make a signature stop, and they're not able to do that on that last drive. And throughout the game on third down, you allow Heineke to move around, make things happen, convert third downs. That's the problem. And you've got to address those things, and those things have not gone away, no matter if you have injuries or not. What else, Roger?
Hey, Mr. Anthony, hey, man, smile a little bit, man. It's only one game, brother. It's all good.
It's all right.
I'm just ready to look at this tape on this game.
He's ready to see the tape. He's ready to move on. He's ready to get some of those wings back there. We got some leftovers. You got the napkins right there. Some people need to dry their tears. It's not over yet. Yes.
Just remember, Peter Blake, the Cannons are the boom, baby.
All right. Enough of you and your boom. All right, Tribal Troll right there, Mr. Roger Shue. Anything else? All right, he's gone.
He said, I'm out.
He's out.
He dropped the mic.
He dropped the mic. He's out. All right, let's go out to Gabe Beck here. How can we donate to you guys? I challenge everyone here to donate $5. Come on, Bucs. Lost. Let's get some beer money. I like it. I'll go ahead and do it.
Here comes the money.
I'll go ahead and provide my Cash App if you want to. Corey says Lions will beat the Browns. Agree with that?
We'll see.
I mean, they were supposed to beat the Steelers this week. They didn't.
And they blew it.
They blew it. You start making me laugh, and I'm out of here.
They blew it.
All right, let's go back out to Ed here. Let's get his walk-up music. See how this works? I like the walk-up music thing, you know? Kind of makes our callers, if you will, superstars, which you are. You are the fans. Let's go out to Ed from Palm Harbor. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, it's a knee injury for Vita Vea.
It's a knee injury.
Yep.
Okay, so do we got
That's what I was looking for.
Do we got any confirmation on
That's
that?
what I was looking for. Nothing's sound yet.
CBS Sports. That's
what I've been looking for.
It was a knee injury.
Well, it definitely looked like some type of leg injury at that point with him being on the card. Of course, he had, the broken leg last year?
Yeah, that was rolled up by Devin White.
All right, what else?
I wanted to say, the defensive, the DBs looked confused all game. I saw them look like they had some communication problems. They're all wondering where they were supposed to be. Man, it just looked like they were ready for this game, which is impossible since they had 2 weeks.
It's a great point. I mean, going back to the corner play, is that what you saw today? Confusion with some of these corners? I mean, you talked about it, playing too far back, 10 to 15 yards. Again, I'm not a defensive coordinator, but at a certain point, does Todd Bowles, is he telling you basically he doesn't necessarily have the confidence in the personnel that's out there at this point, especially in that back end?
No, you got to roll.
He's trying to keep them from getting burnt deep is why he's playing off.
Right.
That's the whole idea with that. So I guess he doesn't have confidence that they're not going to get burnt deep.
But even when you blitzed in that game, you still weren't able to stop them, and that's the disappointing thing. Usually with the blitz, I mean, we saw 5 sacks out of the defensive line. It wasn't all doom and gloom, but once again, that long-ass drive at the end of the game, and then third down conversions, just a killer. Just a killer. Just an absolute killer. All right, Ed, what else?
That's basically about it. I wanted to let you all know that I saw that it was a knee injury.
Yeah, I just saw that, but nothing else.
It was like CBS Sports on Facebook.
That's why I just saw it. Appreciate that, Ed.
Yeah, Ed, we appreciate you. We'll get you the latest on Monday and Wednesday here live on the Sports Web. Thanks a lot, Ed, for the call. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Corey says Lions will beat the Browns. We read that. Mikey says, Angelina Zaman, let's go, Jake Paul.
Not soon, not yet.
Holy crap, Steelers turnover. Harry says the Steelers will cover. Phil, the stash, Houston, we have a tie. Brady Gooch, I'm from Tampa. 2 big Jake Paul fans. Gabe told me you're covering the event, and I like your channel. You got a good voice, Peter. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir.
He's got
Keep
a Barry
on.
Manilow voice.
Woo! Will you shut up and be quiet? I got your Barry Manilow voice. Get the hell out of here.
Now you sound like Ben Stiller.
No, you sound like Ben Stiller. I got this for you.
That's just rude. That's just rude.
If you're watching, smash the like button, NSPN Tampa Bay TV. Gabe, again, let's go out to him. I'm out. Bucs, a better win. Me, my money back next week. Thanks, Brody. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Kyle says, worst game they played all season. Agree with that. Rams, Saints, Washington. What's worse?
I would say, oof. Both of them were pretty bad. Rams
Marry
and the Saints.
one, kill one.
I say the Rams. Rams dominated the game. Yeah, I would say the Rams dominated.
What is it? Marry one, date one, and kill
one. Yeah.
Oh, kill them all. Kill them all. But the turnover situation for the Saints game, that was disappointing with Jameis going out in that game.
Oh, yeah.
This game, to me, you sat there and you're powerless. Their defense can't get off the field. So this one's pretty bad. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Give the dang ball to Rojo.
Yeah, okay. He can have it.
Well, you're not a big fan of him. And because of his inconsistency with catching the ball, we'll say Fournette did a good job of that today.
He's definitely stepped that up.
Picking up blocks.
That part.
Which is what Rojo
That's
is
two out of the three things that are your job is as a running back that he can't do.
Right. Consistently, he doesn't. We've seen him do it, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. I'm not ready to kill him on it. Hopefully, the Vea injury isn't as serious as it seemed because that would really hurt us. David, there is nobody getting better on our back end. Same mistakes being made. Arians has got to coach these guys up better. Stash says, got to get my number locked in, Pete, so I can get my walk-up music next time.
Right.
I got you, my friend. Again, if you do call the show, even you, troll bag, Troy Polamalu, King
We
Troy,
we can play the troll song for
Play
him.
the troll song for him. Bucs defense really got affected by the slight chilly breeze. Will you shut up? The weather situation. Come on, it wasn't that cold out there.
They won all their playoff games in the cold last year. No damn excuse. And on
I'm
that
not going
note,
that.
Let's
Yeah.
get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Peter.
let's get your final thoughts.
That was a shit show. I said, hopefully they go back to the drawing board and get it together. Yes, I said it. You know me, I don't ever go off like that. It was a shit show. It was terrible to watch. I feel bad for anybody that had on that Bucs sideline to sit there and watch you just be powerless, just like the powers got sucked out of you, is you couldn't do jack shit for that last 19-play drive, getting your nuts stomped on, and just just ate up the whole clock. It was not 10 minutes. 10 minutes of time they ran up. Ridiculous.
That was like watching the Titanic. All right.
In slow motion.
In slow motion.
And that's pretty much what it was. It was awful.
The defense consequently.
I'm waving the white flag on today. I'm waving the white flag. You waving it too?
I'm going to wipe my tears.
Yeah, I'm waving the white flag today, Peter.
You're an idiot.
And we're gonna go into next week, and we'll have the winning angle and all that, because Lord knows I'll send it to Bruce and those guys, and maybe they'll listen to me.
Well, on that note, I don't know what to say at this point, guys. Excuse me if I can talk. We will be back tomorrow night here live on the evolution of Sports Talk Television as your Bucs fall 29-19 to fall to 6-3. Up next, the New York Giants.
Ooh,
possibly with Saquon, not Saquon.
Saquon do, Saquon no.
Well, I mean, in a tough game last year, 25-23 on Monday Night Football.
He hasn't played against Tampa yet.
He has not.
Since he's been drafted, every time we played the Giants, he has not played.
Even in his rookie year, he got hurt, didn't he? Or his second year,
in the game.
He got hurt?
Yep,
in the game. So, all right, let's go out to Troy Polamalu. Sources say Vito was just spotted at Wing House. I'll give you a Wing House.
Shut
David says third down coverage, not being able to tackle and take down quarterback is a real concern. This team is in trouble with their coverage. This was a long drive. We had no chance of stopping. It was pathetic. I agree. Troy Polamalu, Blake Anthony for DC Fire Bulls.
There you go.
Ready to take on that job?
Yep, bring it.
What would you do if you were defensive coordinator of this team?
Well,
what would you do?
All right, first of all, I take a hard look at what the playbook is, so I know what we got going on there.
Right.
And then figure out what the weaknesses and strengths that we have, and find out the weaknesses and the strengths of the opponent we're playing against, and what we can and can't do. That's pretty much how I look at each and every game.
I like it. I don't think Todd Bowles is going to be fired. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan Legend, SC. But once again, you can get this. All right, so we'll wrap it up here live at Ducky Sports Lounge. We'll be here next Monday night, getting you ready for Bucs versus the Giants primetime game. Once again, definitely tune in to NSPN I Love St. Pete. For the great Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, I'm your host, Peter Blake. 3 things to end it off. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Bucs lose to the Washington football team 29-19. Have a great night, guys, and keep it locked here on NSPN, where sports media evolves, and I love St. Pete.
Under pressure, makes one guy miss. Now he cocks the arm and throws the deep ball downfield, and it is knocked away, almost picked on. Fourth down, a desperation heave by Heineke. And for the first time since our Super Bowl run in 2002, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win a postseason game. It had been 13 years since we played in the postseason. It had been 18 years since we won a playoff game. 31-23 is your final.
I wanted to play you.
Contain him, quarterback. You got one job. Contain the quarterback. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Washington dropping to throw, pressure, ball tipped to the line. Oh, it's picked off. Intercepted to the 42-yard line by Sean Murphy Bunting.